Hey guys, Retro Mikey 78 here with
Fan 48.
and today we're going to go over my Missouri GameCon pickups. Now, I did pick up quite a bit more than what he did.
I'm not a mega collector. I kind of collect just little things that I love, and I try to play a lot more. I'm trying not to get overwhelmed with my backlog.
And my backlog is huge. Huge is what my backlog is. It's one of the reasons I wanted to start the live streaming coming up, because I can knock out a backlog just by trying a game a week.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to kick off. I'm going to do 5 games that I got, kind of tell a little bit of a story behind them. If you guys see prices on there, I'm going to tell you right now, none of those prices is what I paid. I haggled everybody down, as you probably did too.
A little bit, and I didn't beat anybody up or walk away on a deal, but yeah.
I did walk away on several deals.
Oh, you did?
Yes. Like I said before in my wish list video, I was going to go by price charting. I was going to honor it. There was only one time I didn't, and I didn't care. I did buy one game that was a little over price charting, but I got the guy on the other end buying some other games off of him.
Gotcha.
So I kind of see it as...
it was a wash.
Yeah. All right. Like I said, I'm going to just grab about 5 of these here because, as you guys know, all you that watch my channel, I'm a huge GameCube nut. I'm going after the complete cube set. I walked into the con needing 101 games, minus a few variants that I needed. Box sets or, combo packs or something like that. I'm down to 79 now after the con. So that's a joy. I mean, I'm knocking this cube set out. And I did get one of my variants. All right, so real quick, we got WarioWare Inc. Mega Party games. I'm a huge Wario nut. Love these WarioWare games. And I was surprised I didn't have this one. Did not pay 20. I think I paid about 15 probably for it. Don't remember exactly. It was in a bundle deal, so I got real good price on that. I complained because it had a sticker there, sticker on the back.
Yeah,
and
the manual is a little, the case is a little beat up.
Yeah, and it's sun faded. Then I got Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow. Honestly, I do not like the Splinter Cell games that much, but this completes the Splinter Cell set and all the Tom Clancy's for the cube, so that section is done. Then, here's a game I do like. And this same sticker, I bought this with that WarioWare game. Time Splitters 2. You ever played this?
I have that on my hard drive. So
for the Xbox?
No, for the GameCube.
Oh.
I don't have it for the Xbox, which is rare. Normally I would pick the Xbox version, but I do have that game, and I did play some of it before.
Somebody had Future Perfect, but they wanted $60, and price charting has it at $45. I was like, I couldn't get him to go down near $45, so I walked away on that deal. I will find Future Perfect. And he had 60. I can go to VStock right now and buy it for $53.99. And I saw it there just 3 days ago.
Just wait for your buy 2, no limit, get 1 free.
Try. Then I got me a filler title, but it was the last one I needed of a set. Tiger Woods 06. This is just the last one I needed. I don't know why, but everywhere I looked, I couldn't find the stupid game. It was complete, had the manual and everything, so those are
usually at VStock, like literally you're tripping over them, and every
not that one.
Is that the last year for that?
Yes, game? And it's not worth anything but $4. I got that and 2 other games in a deal. The guy gave me 3 GameCube games for $10.
Speaking of a sports title for GameCube that's expensive, or not expensive, but more expensive than you would think. There was a guy that I bought some stuff from that was selling NHL hits, I think 2003 or something like that.
Yes.
They were going back and forth, and I think he had priced it at first at $20 or something. Does that sound right?
It's actually worth $25.
So this guy was like, this game's going up in price, and I overheard the conversation, and I looked at the thing, and I'm going, NHL hits 2003 is going, And then he goes, yeah, so they pulled up some eBay, some recent listings, and I was really shocked that a game like that, which is fun, by the way. I told you about that I play it.
I got it for $6 when Game Trader 2 was going out of business.
I'm playing a season on that, and I didn't finish it, but I'm still about 2/3 through. So I do love the game, but I did not know that it was worth
maybe here in a couple weeks, because I've not played it, that we can do that on a live stream.
It's a very fun game. I mean, 2-on-2 hockey. I just had no idea that a sports title would be worth that kind of $25. I mean,
well, you know about NCAA
I do
college football
yes,
2K3.
I do know about that one, but a hockey game, a random year. I mean, it's just that it's the hit series, I guess.
Somebody had that NCAA there. That thing is marked on price charting for $158. He had it at $250. And it's that same idiot that I bought a bunch of overpriced games off of last year.
Did he recognize you from...
No.
He did not.
And then the last game of my first 5 is Tak, the Power of Juju. It's the last in the Tak series I needed for the GameCube. And I actually got this game free. And it was a guy near the front that had a big sign, buy 3, get 1 free. So this was my free. This was my free game from him. He said it was $19.99 or less, but near the end of the day, I looked at it and said, dude, there's nothing here else I need. You got one that's marked $22.99. You got marked $6 over price charting. I said, if I take that game, will you honor the deal? And he did. So, me getting this game free, which is a $10 game, hey, I was happy.
Yeah, that works out.
All right, your turn.
So again, I didn't get much. One of the first things that I picked up, I was very happy to get, was the box manual insert, everything but the game of Super Mario Advance 2. I had this.
Oh, you don't have the game in there?
I did put it in there, but after I put the sleeve on it. But I've had this game for years. Always wanted, because it looks so good. The cover, it's so great.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to have the box for this, but buying everything when you need everything, you just have the loose, it's hard. And people want, they're missing this or that, or they might have just a box no insert. This was everything. And this guy had all of these games, Game Boy Advance, and you really didn't know what was inside of it until you opened it. And he didn't care. He just said, you may get lucky and the game's in there. He had a ton of N64 games. Some were just the box, some weren't. And everything was priced really reasonable, and then he would, you'd work out a price. So to get this, I got a bundle deal, but basically I got this, essentially for $10.
Wow, I mean, because I've had this for about 2 years now, and you see where I got it. I got this at Trading Games and Fitting, that store I always go to.
That's pretty good. That's even better. Well, they're pretty close. You don't even have a crease. I think I have a crease right here, but.
This was actually his own personal collection. He was selling some of them.
I could see that's about as good as you can get.
I actually still want to get a box, a plastic box like that. I need to get some for these, but yeah, I've played it, but I always keep putting it right back in the plastic.
But yeah, for $10, I literally couldn't get the grin off my face. But now there is a story behind this. I'm going to do one more. So we did that deal, and then I noticed I've been looking for Donkey Kong for the Game Boy. If people don't know this, Donkey Kong for the Game Boy is seriously underrated. So I don't know if you know this. This has got like 60-some levels. Not only do you have the arcade stuff, but and then you can put it also in the Super Game Boy, and it opens up a whole nother thing. But this game is in everyone's top 10 list when they talk about Game Boy games.
Wow.
So to get this and so it's not just some knockoff of the NES version. This is not that. This is completely different. So to get that in the manual, I got these two for $20. We're talking, this is probably $35 or more. I got these for $20. Now the story behind this is the guy didn't have any bags. He was working the booth by himself. His buddy was going to the store to get plastic bags. They forgot them. So I said, it's early, could you hold these until your buddy gets back and I'll come back around? He said, sure. So I go around and around. Hour goes into 2 hours, and I'm like, oh crap, I need to go and pick that stuff up. Well, his buddy who was gone the first time was now manning the shop. And this guy, they were so busy, they were sweating. They looked like bartenders at a crowded bar, but just one guy doing it. I mean, he literally could not keep you know, you're standing there holding something just like you're trying to get a bartender's attention. That's what it was like. So the guy that I gave it to was so spazzy that he didn't even remember our conversation, didn't even remember anything, but he put it behind him. 2 hours later, he thought that he didn't even remember it, so he just was like, why are these here? Put it back into the mix. So I come back around, and I said, here to pick up my stuff, and this guy's clueless. He goes, what were they again? I kept saying them over and over again. My heart is starting to beat, and it's not the money. It was, I wanted this stuff. You know, these were on my short list to find them. And I couldn't believe that I found them for a good price. So he's looking. There's not a whole lot of stuff to go through. He's looking through this, but there's, you know, and I can tell they're not there. So he's getting nervous. I could see him sweating. He's like, you know, well, he's coming back soon. I'm just covering him while he's looking around. So all of a sudden I look down. There's the only copy of Super Mario Advance 2 back in that box. And then I'm going through the Game Boy stuff. There's my Donkey Kong. So they were there, but now I'm like, I've already paid for this. So he's like, oh, I totally believe you. So he was a very cool guy. Before the other guy came back, he was going to let me walk away just on word. And then all of a sudden his buddy comes up and he goes, hey man, what's up with this guy? You put his stuff back in there. And then he was like, oh yeah, I did put it back here, and then I couldn't remember. You know, so that shows you how busy that this con was. That people, you know, these guys had their prices right. They had the right product. They were moving stuff like crazy. And the people that were just sitting there with random stuff overpriced, you know, they were just on their phone because they were not selling. This year, I think boxes, manuals, they were saying that that's really hot now. It used last year. They said at Mo Game Con they didn't sell hardly any of that stuff. But at Midwest, they were at the Midwest Gaming Classic, and they said they sold totes and totes of manuals and boxes. So that stuff is, people are wanting to complete these.
When I started going for my 64 set, people were battling me for online for those prices.
Yeah, it was. Oh, you mean for when you're getting your box?
Yeah, because I was in auctions getting them, and they would go skyrocketing.
So yeah, it just goes to show you, though. I mean, these guys, when they're busy like that, well, definitely don't do what I do and let somebody just hold your stuff. I should have brought a bag. You know.
If you would have told me, I could have had it held over there at the trading game.
Yeah, I was going to bring a backpack, forgot it, and I thought, well, everybody will have bags, and they didn't, and that could have ended really bad. Somebody could have bought that stuff, and I would have been, you know, I would have got my money back, but that wasn't the point. You know, I can't get this box and manual on eBay or this game and manual for that kind of money, and so.
All right, I'll do another 5, and I drop them. All right, next up, folks, we have Super Monkey Ball. This is one of the ones I got in the 3 for $10 deal. Now, this is not a GameCube case, and I will fix that, and it didn't come with a manual. That's why I threw it in 3 for $10. But still, Super Monkey Ball was just one I don't have.
Is that the original artwork in the back?
Yes, it is all original. You can tell it. It's not a fake sheet. I've got one over there that's fake. I can tell. Next up, I don't even remember where I picked this up at or how much I paid for it. I know I didn't pay much. The Summoner. Oh, I picked this up. I actually got this on film yesterday. I picked up the Summoner from same time I picked up Bad Boys and Charlie's Angels. But I do not know much about this game. I just know it was a game not on my list. Or a game I didn't have and it's on my list. Next up, I'm not a big SpongeBob fan. I picked this up. Honestly, I don't remember where I picked. Oh, no, honestly, I don't. I don't have any clue where I picked this up at. I just know I didn't pay much for it. Oh, yeah, this story behind this is right near the end of the con, right before I left. I needed Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. I actually got this for $2. I bundled this with another game that's a $43 game.
I thought you said when you went back you got some heavy hitters.
Oh, I did get heavy hitters.
But that was one of the lower price ones.
Yeah, I dubbed this, I bundled this with a $40 game. We'll get to where it is because I don't remember what it is. Still got the sticker on it. But they wanted $47.50 and I I looked at him and said, come on, man, take 40. I said, this game, it's got stickers on it. I said, I was complaining about everything. The lady said 44, and then I started put the games back in. She goes, 42? And I went, sure. The other game was a $43 game. I looked it up, and then this is a $10 game, which I can clean all this off, folks. I need to do a tutorial. Grumpy Bob's, the people there, they showed me how to peel this stuff off without leaving any residue and easily by using lighter fluid. And I was amazed when they showed it to me, but it works. Even on these GameStop ones. Peels right off. Then this next game I got, the guy would not come down on this one. It kind of annoyed me. Got Pokemon Channel, and he wouldn't come down on it because it's actually rare to have the Pokemon Channel cards in it. Most people did not keep the cards, and they're still not punched out.
Wow.
So
that's really cool, though. And how much was that one?
I think it was 20. It's a $25 game. But I try to get money off of it. But yeah, and I'm not a Pokemon person. I do not like Pokemon games, but it's part of the GameCube set.
There was a lot of people there that I could overhear them. They were just there for Pokemon. People that had
Yes.
kids, they were only there looking for Pokemon.
That game and browse couple that were there, when I get that Tac Power Juju free, she picked this up at that guy's booth and she opened it up. It didn't have a manual or any of the cards, and she put it back down. She would have drooled over this one.
Do you have any idea what you even do in that game? Does it use a peripheral or no? Like a mic or anything?
Says it used the Game Boy Advance and e-reader. So basically it looks like you make the Pokemon have their own TV shows and stuff.
So you don't battle on this game?
No. Alright, what else you get?
This is just one that I've been hearing about. That is, if you're going to get this
I've
game,
heard of that game.
If you're going to get
we got to try that
this
sometime.
This is the one that you're supposed to get is on the Wii, or the Wii U is the best version. So he had 10 on it. It was getting kind of about half part of the day. He took 8. It's in great condition. It's got some marker that'll come off, and I don't know.
No, it's electric manual.
Okay, he wasn't sure if this came with a bigger manual.
Whenever you see this here, if you read it, it'll say in here electronic manual, because that's what this is.
But I mean, it's not a bad deal. Wii U games, according to some YouTubers like John Hancock, they're getting hard to find, and I don't know if there is some that I was looking for that I did not see. So, you could see this stuff going up in value. I don't know. Only time will tell. But it wasn't for $8. I know Metal Jesus swears by these Deus Ex games. He just loves that series, and
I've never played any. We have to try that sometime. All right, I'll get 5 more. All right, the next one here, NBA Street Volume 2. This completes the Street collection. I now have all the FIFA Streets, the NHL, and the NBA one. I have them all. Or no, this NFL, NBA, and FIFA. They don't have NHL Street. But these are actually fun. It's playing like old school arcade style. They're fun, but this is the last one I needed, so that series is done. And then I worked out a deal. This is the one I said the guy in the buy 3 get 1 free. He had it overpriced by about $6. That's Mega Man Network Transmission. So I talked him into letting me get this in his deal, because the deal was for anything $19.99 or lower. I was like, all right, you throw this in, and NFL Street was there too. I don't remember what the other game was. It's near the bottom, so we'll get.
So this was all from the same guy?
Yeah, there was 4 games. The last one's Battalion Wars. And I've heard a lot of people talk about that, but I've never heard of this Mega Man game. So, and I'm not very good at Mega Man games. Whenever I try to play them, I die quickly, so.
I wonder if that has anything to do with the Battle Network stuff on the Game Boy Advance.
It doesn't say anything about the Game Boy Advance on the back.
Because there's a whole bunch of Battle Network games on the GBA, and I don't get into those either. But I just saw that it had network transmission.
Now this next one, I am gonna thank my wife, Retro April, because I'd forgotten that this was the only Mario title on the GameCube I did not have. Mario Power Tennis.
It's a fun game too.
I have it on the Wii, which people say it has better controls on the Wii than it does this. So, got this at the Trading Games booth, and when we got it, he also bundled in this.
Yeah, he was giving you some deals too.
And I go to his store a lot. I talk with him.
Is that the last one that you need?
No, I still up here on the shelf I have Toad, Bowser, and Peach. So now we got to find Yoshi and Mario.
I just had a Yoshi too, but you want the box.
I want them sealed. I don't want them opened. I don't. This has never been opened.
At a garage sale, and for a good price, but it did not have the box.
But yeah, we got this with that, and he gave me an awesome deal. He treats me right because I do a lot of business. I promote his show. I promote his store a lot, and you guys have seen the videos of his store. I go in there a lot. Now I got the last Spyro game that I need. Spyro, A New Beginning for the GameCube. Weird thing is, all the other ones say Spyro the Dragon or Spyro something else. This one says The Legend of Spyro, and for a while I thought I had them all because I wasn't looking at the list right.
This one is, I remember seeing even on PS2, is kind of creeping up in value.
Yes, this is getting very expensive. I actually got this in a bundled deal for a guy at work. He wanted, how do you say this? You're better at that. Suikoden. Walter Peck at work was wanting this game, and I called him up and said, hey, the guy has this for $45, and he had 20 on this, and I sat there and talked him down, so I get both of them. He's going to pay me the $45 for this, and then I got this for basically $10. So, I mean, me buying this game for him helped me get this even cheaper. Then I got this is one of the heavy hitters that I picked up. This game here goes now for $60 in price charting. We looked it up while we were there, so it is creeping up.
Which version is the most expensive?
They're actually all the same. They're all within $5 of each other.
PS2 probably on the bottom of that, I would imagine.
No, it was at $58.
What's the Xbox at?
Xbox at $55.
Wow, that's surprising.
The GameCube is $60. It's the most expensive. It's got some residue that I can clean up. Yeah. That ain't no problem. But other than that, it's in really good shape. The guy gave me $50 even for it. Basically, I told him, I said, you either give me this or I'm a half hour away from a store that I've already called and I know they have this and I got $50.
I saw somebody that had the PS2 version for more than that. I think they had it for $60. So, yeah, you got a good deal.
$50 for this, I mean...
And that's a game that you might want to break out sometime, too.
You're up now.
As far as the things that I paid for, because I have some free stuff in here, which is crazy, but I did buy this at Retro Tony's booth. I took some free things. Tony had a free bin, 2 large free bins. And after grabbing a few things, he kind of guilted me into buying something. So I got Kirby's Dream Land 2, which is a good game.
I have played that.
And I play these on the SP101, so they look great. Even, I don't play the Game Boy. I'm just going to throw it out there. It looks great on the shelf, but I don't play it. If you're going to do that, you got to screen mod that thing and backlight it, but I'm not going to do that. So this is a great game to play on your 101 or say your GameCube or whatever.
I play it on the Retron 5.
Retron, yeah, something like that. But this is a really good game. He gave it to me for $13, I think, which is not a bad deal considering the free stuff. But just glad, I'm kind of getting back into the Game Boy. So.
All right. How many you got left?
Just got some free stuff, basically, and...
Okay. I'll just do...
I got one more thing that I paid for, which is it's got a small story to it and some free stuff.
I'll just do this whole stack, and then I'll get into those. All right. I'll finish off all these. I do not remember where I bought... Custom Robo was the other one in that 3 for $10. Which really surprised me, but I looked at the guy and said, come on, man. It said, didn't have a manual. And this is about a $30-$40 game. I got it at a really good price. I mean, you know he didn't pay much for it. It has a Goodwill sticker on it for $2.99. But I mean, that was an excellent deal. I mean,
Makes you wonder why he would even leave that on there. I mean, I would have took that off.
now, here's the biggest purchase of the day I made, the most expensive game. He had 75 on it. I know it's priced a little higher than that on price charting. I got it for 65. He's a local guy. He sells on Missouri Game Chasers, a site I follow on Facebook.
That's what I thought.
Chibi Robo. I got it for $65 in excellent condition.
That's a good score.
So I was excited. And, you know, the only reason I was able to go back and get these extra games is because I sold that Switch that I bought the day before.
Yeah. The Switch that I should have bought from you, and I'm now regretting. But
I made $100.
I'm okay with it.
I made $100. Then I bought a game I probably will never try unless we play a bad game challenge or something. Charlie's Angels. I bought this at a booth. I think I got it for about $7.
I do like that movie, though.
The movie ain't bad. All right, now
this one.
This is. Remember I told you I got a.
This is supposed to be a pretty good game, though, isn't it?
Yes. Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. This is what I bundled with this and got these for $42. This is a $43 game on price charting. This is a $10 game. So getting that deal, I mean, that was a good deal.
It was a good deal.
I was looking for that game. I forgot which one it was. Then I picked up Blood Rain. You ever play Blood Rain?
No, I have not.
I'll let you take the Xbox home and you can try it sometime. Blood Rain, complete. I think I paid...
I see those on the Xbox all over the place.
Yes.
They're pretty...
pretty common. For the GameCube, this is the first time I've seen it, but I've seen 3 of them today. Next in that booth, I got buy 3 get 1 free. This was the other one. I got Battalion Wars. A lot of people talk about this game, and I'm really interested to try it.
Is it like Advance Wars?
I
wonder if it is.
I've never played Advance Wars, but it looks sort of like it, I think.
Possibly, if it's strategy.
Yeah, it's a strategy-based game.
So it's probably an extension of the Advance Wars because even the fonts kind of like it. Maybe somebody will have to
people say this is a really fun game. And then the last main, I did get one more GameCube. We'll get into that. But the last main one I got was just to get it on the GameCube. Bad Boys Miami Takedown. And a game I'm really looking forward to play.
All right, so this was kind of a strange thing. So I bought this. A guy locally had some manuals on Let Go, and one of them was WarioWare. So I got the manual from him for just a few bucks. I then was like, do I sell it? Do I keep it? Well, then I started looking, and I found a guy on eBay that had this game in this case. Now, I don't know if you can see, but this thing has been dog chewed up and beat up, front to back. There's punctures in the label. So what I did was I bought it from him for $8 shipped. And then at the con, I was trying to find the cheapest Game Boy game I could possibly find. And people were just kind of beating me up over it. They just didn't want to dogs. As you can see, the label is off because what I did was I did a complete case swap. You know, took the board out because it was in the best condition. The guy gave it to me for $1, and he wasn't really even happy about that. But I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna play this. I just want the case. So he was like, whatever, we'll just do that. I mean, he's not gonna sell this game for even $1.99. So anyway, I went home, couldn't help myself, never done it before, but I got the hairdryer out. I started with this one, got the label off very cleanly, so I knew that this would work, but they had all kinds of puncture marks, so I was worried that it was going to fracture. Well, as you can see, I mean, it's not bad at all. I mean, it's got some puncture marks, but
I'll take a picture.
It's better than this.
We'll take a picture of him and put him up on the screen. But yeah, you guys can see he did an excellent job.
Oh, I mean, and this added some serious value. Plus, you know, if I wanted to even put this on a shelf or something, it's going to look, it looks so bad with the puncture wounds. I mean, the label still doesn't look the greatest, but it's flat as opposed to these huge dents in the front and the back. So this was basically a $9 transaction, but these together, this for $1, this for $8, that is a great, great deal. And I'm really happy that it worked out. And I got the box and the manual that I bought that came today in the mail from eBay. So this is now complete, and I've only got like $20 invested in this. So it's a
Too bad we didn't take a video and show how to do that.
You know what? After I had did that and it worked out so well, it went right through my mind. Why didn't I just show that? But don't be afraid. You know, this is a tri-wing. It doesn't use a game bit. So tri-wing, and these boards pull out. I was worried because the board on this is quite larger than the board in the dogs game, but it fit in there fine.
Yeah, the cases are exactly the same.
The cases are the
they
same.
have to make the cases the same.
Exactly. I just thought maybe to accommodate that bigger board, maybe the front had a different cutout, but it did not. So lesson learned. If you find a bad case, don't be afraid to just do this. Go to the flea market or garage sale and get you a 50-cent perfect game that you don't need. I mean, this
Too
is
bad you
probably
didn't find one in Tony's freebie thing.
Yeah, I didn't, and but Tony did have Metroid Zero. He had probably should have bought that over Kirby's Dream Land Zero Mission, but I did not. He had it a little higher than I wanted to pay. But anyway, that was a nice little. You know, that guy did not want to sell me that for $1, but I just told him what I was going to do with it, and he was like, "Whatever, dude."
And yeah, people don't want to hear that you're just going to sit there and take the game.
He wanted
apart.
me to swap it right there. He said, "You have it?" I said, "I'm not going to swap it right here because I need to do it. I'm doing a label. Everything's coming off. So I'm not going to give you back, one with the wrong board in and the wrong label. It's, I'm going to take it once I swap it. Yours is going in the trash." I hate to say it.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and finish mine off, then you can finish yours off. All right. This is a game. I know I went for GameCube games, but I saw this. I was trying to film, or walk around and film. I saw this game from a distance, and I almost dropped my phone to run to it. This is a game I've been looking for. I sold a while back, and wish I would have never sold. It's one of the games I sold when I moved here. But I really love the game. It's D. And sad thing is, I didn't know that it was in the long box for the longest time. I actually had a small box version of this.
Really?
And I hear that that's now actually getting harder to find than this version. They didn't make, just kind of like a Final Fantasy or those. I know you probably never even seen one like that, have you?
Well, I mean, I had a lot of original long boxes. As the games were coming out, I was buying them as they were the system, So I had quite a few long boxes, but I did not have D.
D is a fun and yet overrated game, and the weird thing is there's no save. You're on a timer. You either play through the game and beat it, or you don't.
I have the sequel to this, which is Enemy Zero, and I popped it in and got into a little bit of it, but that game's a little bit harder because there's an enemy that you can't see. So you're basically fighting an invisible alien force.
Enemy Zero is the prequel.
Okay, well, it came out on the Saturn, but you're saying in the story universe.
Yeah, Enemy Zero is the prequel. Then they have D2
on the Dreamcast.
And then
Xbox had one.
No.
I thought Xbox has.
Oh, hold on. Enemy Zero is not a prequel. It's part 3.
Yes. It comes after, I thought.
Yeah, okay. There's D2, then Enemy Zero, and then there's D4. And D4 has nothing to do with any of the story. Why they call it
360 game?
I honestly don't know what it is. I've got it free on the Xbox, and that's the only way I've never.
Oh, on the store or whatever, or Xbox Live, they kind of gave it to you.
I guess I've had it on my Xbox One since I got my very first model. I tried playing it, and I do not like D4. And then the last thing that I got, and it does have a few dents, but
it's not bad for a steelbook. Those things can look pretty.
Yeah. I got the Resident Evil 4 GameStop Special Edition, and I'm telling you, folks, I've been wanting this for a long time. I wish I would have bought it last year, but
what was the price on that?
He had 90, and I talked him down to 75. The guy I told you was real high at the front of the place. He had it marked for 100 and he wouldn't budge. And his case was, look, crushed.
And what does it normally go for, like on average?
On average, it's about a $55 game. So yes, I overpaid by about $20, but I did buy other stuff from that guy and he gave me a tremendous discount. So it was kind of a wash. And honestly, I honestly didn't spend any of my money at this con. All this stuff that I bought this con has been from trading and selling stuff for the last 2 months. I bought that Xbox, those 2 Xbox Ones. I sold both them and made $305. And I had bought them through other means of trading and stuff. And then I took $125 out Saturday or Friday and went and bought that Switch and made another $100 off that. So the only thing I spent was $100 of my money, and that's from me working last Sunday on overtime.
Yeah, you definitely knocked off a lot of games.
That's my goal, is to try to get this GameCube collection down. And the sad thing is, that guy that had to buy 3 get 1 free, he had all the heavy hitters. He had Pokemon Box, the $500 game. He had Go-Go Hyper Grind, Gotcha Force, Cubivore.
Did he really?
I'm like,
were they right around what they go for? Or were they...
No, they were all higher. And they were still sitting there. And that was the last purchase I made, was at his booth.
Yeah, but you probably did the right thing. One of those would have just killed you, which wouldn't have given you a lot.
I could have bought one game. I could have bought Pokemon Box, and that would have been the one game that I bought.
Yeah, I think you did the right thing.
And me and my wife, it's the same thing I did my N64 collection. I waited till the end, and that's when I did eBay or other methods, and I tried to find those expensive games as cheap as I could. I remember going in auctions and sitting there on Buy It Nows and watching the auctions go up. And the moment the auction would go $1 over, I'd go buy that now. Because I was afraid that Buy It Now would disappear.
Well, and another teachable moment here. I last year waited to try and get a better deal. And then I told Mike this, and then I came back around hours later. And then to have the guy holding the game that I was hoping to maybe get at a good price and having it in his hand. And then just, it was already at a good price. And I just got greedy and wanted it lower. And it sold right in front of me. So I said I wasn't going to do that again. But I did see, I was wanting some Saturn imports. I saw Vampire Hunter, which is, in the States, it is called Darkstalkers Night Warriors. But that version on the Saturn is crazy. It's like $50. Whereas the import is literally like 10 all day long on eBay. Maybe 12. Well, the guy had it for 10, and it was minty. And I thought about it and thought, you know what? This is the guy that had the printouts. Very cool, too. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
He, instead of just saying, what's this, this guy had a printout, and you would just go through and find your game. This guy, this was great. And he was moving stuff, too, because he was so organized.
And he
was actually giving me stuff. Put this in the $5 bin. And I was like, sure. This guy was moving some products. So I came back an hour or two later, and that Vampire Hunter was gone. And I was kicking myself. So I didn't learn from the first time even. I just, so this goes to show you, when something is priced right and it's right in front of you, just pull the trigger. It ain't worth it for a few bucks. It really isn't. I don't know what I was thinking. I could probably get that game on eBay right now and pay a couple bucks more, but it was right there. I should have bought it. But that's just the way it goes, It's not the greatest. The sequel is way better, but those Saturn imports, they don't take up a lot of space. We're talking about a CD case.
Yeah,
so this wouldn't have.
I like the import. I like the imports so much better than I do the.
Yeah, I do too. They don't have.
I think I got. I got one import.
You have so much more. The Saturn games, you have a long box, but as you can see, the art, they don't want to take advantage of that space sometimes. This one's one that maybe does, but some of these, you got this huge border, as you can see here, and the Saturn games.
Here you go.
They should have done. Yes, that's terrible. you've got this huge amount of space, and yet you got this little picture. So they do a lot.
And
with
the imports are so much better.
Yeah. And most of them are in English. They're 90% in English. Now, I don't know about that.
This one is not.
No, that one's probably not.
I only collected this because you know what it is.
Yeah.
My Resident Evil
You'll have a shrine probably going on. I'm assuming it's probably going to take that over at some point.
Leon's in the closet with his antidote up there.
Yeah, and there's the chainsaw. But... So, the last few things here, these all came from Retro Tony. He had 2 giant free bins, and people were a little freaked out because they were afraid to take things, not sure to take how much. I went a little crazy on it, which is why Tony probably charged me a little bit more. He might have come down a little bit more on this one. But the first one I got was Super Off-Road, and this is one for Mike. I didn't notice until I got home. I honestly did not even see this. I was cleaning every corner, every edge, and then went, whoa! But we tested this out.
It works fine.
It works great. It was it's not looking that great on the pins, but this thing does work, and he was playing it just, right before the video was made.
Yeah.
So, he can do a back swap on that.
I'm gonna swap the back out. I've got about 4 or 5 different Mario paints because you tend to collect those games because they're junk. With that, without everything else with it. So I'm going to swap the back out on one and get online and order a replacement label, which I've done before.
It's a great game for free.
This is a fun game.
So shout out to Tony for putting that in the free bin. Now this one I grabbed too. It was very heavy. I know this is a very common game. Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. When I got in the car, empty. But again, I'm not complaining because that was free. He also had GTA 5 and said, go ahead, take it. I couldn't believe this because this used to still hold its value. Now, it's probably gone down to about 15 maybe or less. He claims this was about a $2 game. As you can see, it's got some water damage. I don't think that's mold. I don't know what it is, but it's missing the manual. But the disc is really good. I mean, it's got a couple hairlines, but this game, I mean, this is like a desert island game. You could play this for years, and it was free. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I do have a copy. We'll see what I do with this. But again, Tony, that's a great deal. And then this was the last one. I don't have this for the Wii U. I think this was the pack-in booklet.
Yes, this is the Mario Maker booklet that I've actually never seen because I've never played the first Mario Maker. My Mario Maker is actually still sealed.
So this was in the free bin, and I really saw that artwork in there, and
I've seen people go over this on YouTube, and this is a really interesting book. I mean, the artwork alone in here,
it's a little bent up, but that'll flatten out. I mean, this is really cool. There could come a day where I find this in the box with the box, but missing. This is a very good chance.
Actually, most people didn't keep the box. Every time I've found Mario Maker in the wild, it's just
in the case.
It's just in the case. You can't even find this anymore. This might actually be worth a little bit later.
I think it's like an 8 to 10 on eBay, depending on what you got on your shipping. But again, he, with everything that I got, Tony's a good guy. He had really good stuff.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I'm gonna look through this because. With me not opening mine, I've actually never got to see one.
Well, this will look good as a backdrop on a shelf. I mean, it's got some great artwork just on the front, but it's a neat little booklet to get for free, and I want to give some shout outs to him. So that's the end of my little bit of stuff that I got. I definitely picked up more than last year. Last year I came home with one game. This year, a lot more stuff, but I only spent about barely $40, and came away with some good deals. I wish I would have went back now that you told me that it was dead and gone through every bin. I've been looking for some Doom 2 on the game GBA. I hear is really good. Stuff like that. Some really obscure GBA games that because there was people that had totes stacked to the top with GBA. Whether it's he had totes that were, I'm talking this deep, this wide, full of them. and it would take you literally an hour to go through that. I was just
And that's what people were doing.
Yeah, just going through them. They were falling on the floor.
When I went back, there were people just sitting on the floor with the totes in the middle of their legs, going through this stuff. This year, the con was so busy.
Unbelievable. The vendors here were, they definitely, there was a few bad apples that just shouldn't even have been there with their prices. But other than that, I thought the deals were just everywhere.
Yes. And like I said, you know, I scored it. You know, I looked all this stuff up that I got. It's about almost $800 worth.
Wow. Yeah, you definitely got some good deals. And I'm happy too. I wish I would have got a few more things, but overall, this was a good time, and I'm hoping next year will be even better. You might, you know, each year as it gets bigger, it's going to attract more vendors.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you know, me and her, we're getting ready to purchase stuff. You know, we're going to wait for the money we got coming in here a few months. But we're going to purchase tickets, and we are definitely going to Midwest Gaming Classic. You might want to tag along to that one, our Retropalooza next year.
Yeah, that Midwest, a lot of people I heard talking about it. And
I'm going to
go. The guy from COOLTOY said that thing is
I'm
really
going to the full 3-day thing, and we'll look up prices here and stuff later. But me and her are actually going to do the VIP package, we think.
And did you check the prices on it? Or?
Yeah, it's real reasonable to what it was here.
Like over 100? Or?
Yes. But that gets you into everything. You get into the Friday preview show from 6 to midnight. That gets you to...
That right there would be worth it by itself.
Then that gets you to the all-day Saturday and the after party till 3 in the morning. And then in there till Sunday, till I think they're open.
And they have the giant arcade too.
Oh, their arcade is huge.
Speaking of arcade, I want to touch on something that I had not seen. Me and Mike are both kicking around Arcade 1-Up. I like the company. I know they have some quality issues, but they have great customer service from what I hear. This year they had nothing but mainly Arcade 1-Ups in their lounge.
Yes.
So last year they had 2 plumbers supplied a bunch of arcade games.
4.
I thought it was more than that.
There wasn't much last year.
Wasn't much, but I tell you what, it was easy to get on one. This time I went into the lounge before I
You couldn't move. There was footage yesterday. I know you didn't see the footage, but I took footage right after I talked to the Frugal Gamer from last year that we met. I talked with him, and actually you can actually hear him on the video. I'm still talking with him while I'm panning around. But yeah, there was a lot more there this year. And
there was a lot more there, but what I was getting to was the size of the Arcade 1-Ups. Now, I'm not real tall. I'm like 5'10"-ish. These things were about the minimum. I mean, I wasn't hunching over, but
they were.
They all had risers, but these, you know, I've done the measurements. I thought, oh yeah, this would be fine in my game room. This is for the person that definitely has wants the small form factor. And after seeing one up close, I don't even know if I would. I don't know if I want one now. Were you surprised or not?
Well, I told you I played with the one at the Walmart the other day, looking at it.
See, I've never seen one set up in a Walmart.
There was right over here the Walmart right next to me. There's one set up.
Oh, okay. See, I don't go to that Walmart. I go to the one
next to you.
Next to me. So I've
the
really...
Galaga one's set up over there, and you can play it.
Okay, because I've done the
My wife had to pull me away from it because I love Galaga.
Well, I was questioning even if the risers were on these things. That's how.
Yeah.
So.
And you got to think the one at Walmart's sitting on their shelf, so it's already on their shelf, and I was still bending down.
But they didn't have the riser on.
No.
So, but it did play. I was playing Centipede. It played well. I did have the volume on high. I couldn't hear it above all the noise in there. And I heard people always saying that the volume on those things are too high. Well, I couldn't hear anything.
Well, yeah. When I did the recording from yesterday, you could tell that the place was loud. The place was booming.
Yeah. That lounge was crowded, but I was just a little disappointed that it was only Arcade 1-Ups and not... Somebody could have, I thought, donated some... There was a driving game...
Mortal Kombat 2.
They had Mortal Kombat 2.
I took a picture of that and sent it to you.
But there was probably 4 or 5 Arcade 1-Ups.
There was a couple Japanese games over there along the side, arcade cabinets.
But that's something that this con is definitely... I
lacking.
hope they can. Yes, the other whenever you see all these other videos, we're talking probably an arcade the size of the
con.
Of the con that we were just at.
And that's what I was telling everybody on the channel a few weeks ago or a few days ago. That's what me and Retro April are talking about next year. We want to go experience. We've now been to Missouri Game Con twice. You've been 3 times.
3 times.
And I keep seeing all these other cons, and I really want to go to these other cons. I mean, me and you both watched Riggs' video on Too Many Games.
That was pretty mind-blowing.
And I know I'm not going to be able to go to that one next year, but the year after that, me and her are planning that trip, and we're not giving up that idea.
Yeah, and the deals that you're seeing are just, you're like, is that just the YouTuber kind of discount, or there were some crazy deals that they show on this.
I will tell you this: you get known on YouTuber, and they know you, you do get a discount. I've noticed that today. I was getting quite the discounts.
But again, Tony having that free, some quality stuff in a free bin, you don't see that, I don't think, that often. Now, he actually had a Game Boy in there that I was going to grab. A guy beat me to it. This thing was beat up, but you could put a Retro Pi. That's what they're doing with these things now. They're making Retro Pis. Now, I don't know if that's a project I want to tackle, but Tony really had a free bin that nobody else had. There was $5 bins, and there was a couple $2 bins. He was the only guy that had a free bin, and that's the kind of stuff you see at other cons. That's the kind of, you see a lot of dollar bins in other cons. I didn't see anybody that have that here.
No.
There was 2, then there was free, there was some 5s, but this con definitely stepped it up, and I'm hoping that next year is even better. And
yeah, I'm definitely going next year, and I think you're talking about maybe doing it with me next year. We're thinking about getting a vendor table.
Possibly. I mean, seeing that what some of these people sell and the quality of their stuff, I don't know if we could. I don't know if we'd have the kind of quality stuff to sell that some of these people have. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I wouldn't want to part with stuff like this, so I don't. If I came across things like this, they're not going to be going up for sale. So now, if you found things like that Switch deal, that's the kind of stuff that would.
I had to sell that though.
Oh, I totally understand. But if you held on to that for next year, you wouldn't have got $100.
No,
you would have lost money. I may have some things that that may go up in value. So I pulled things off eBay. I'm going to try and do it. We'll see how much inventory we have. I don't know. It would have to pay for the booth, and it would. In
about March they do it, and they think that I was talking to one of the vendors, a guy that was on that's one of my followers, Chris. I don't know if he was wearing a yellow shirt. His stuff was like in wood crates.
Yeah, I did see that guy.
He congratulated me in April on our weight loss, and I was like, oh, he was a YouTuber. I gave him a shout out, but I was talking to him when I went back about the vendor situation. He said that it was, I think, $125 this year for a table, and if you got the early bird, it was $90.
It's not bad.
So, and all I was looking for you is to split that cost, and we give it up, we give it a shot. But I was probably still going to upgrade it to a sponsor table, so I can try to get Retro Mikey 78 out there. And if you do start your YouTube channel, I know you're batting it around. We might want to think about that. Put Retro Mikey and Foo Fan 48 on there. And
it's just accumulating the amount of stuff that some of these people would have.
Yes.
And you got to think, we're going into the winter months here. So there's going to be some lulls unless you're making Facebook deals or Mercari deals, Well, I plan on doing a lot of Mercari and eBay bundle deals. I plan on, when I'm going to finish this GameCube set, I'm going to have a lot of GameCube games, because there were people there looking for GameCube stuff. GameCube's collectible right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to buy, if I got to buy a stack of games like this, and I only keep 2 or 3, I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to put the other ones up. And then next year, I'm going to have them at the con. So I plan on maybe having 100 to 200 GameCube games. Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, you definitely would. That would take up some space. That's the thing I'm worried about. Would we have enough to take up a table? Like Tony, I was really impressed with the amount of stuff he had. And it was all done just locally from thrift stores and stuff like that. He's had some really obscure stuff in there. Yeah, he didn't clean a lot of it up, and and it was priced accordingly. But I couldn't believe that the selection that he had.
You want to hear something sad? I can tell you this. I'm sitting there going through the video footage. Remember I told you I passed up on Killer 7 on his table because it didn't have the original art, had no manual.
Yeah, it was a repro, you said.
It was just a printout. It was just a cheap paper printout. I'm going through the footage, and I'm looking at footage on somebody else's table, and there was Killer 7.
Did you see how much it was?
I couldn't tell. I was going off the table. I got bumped at the time.
Well, but it probably was. You would have had to probably give one of those.
Yeah, I would have had. But it's just that it was so busy. There was so much stuff there to see. Just going to show you, somebody like me, I missed that.
Yeah, it was good. I kind of wish it was still going on. It ends too early for a one-day con. 10:30 to 6:30. It's not that long. But it is what it is. I mean, they put on a great con this year. They definitely stepped it up. You and me were questioning it for literally months.
Yeah.
Is this going to be a disappointment?
Because last year...
Well, they had bigger guests last year, but I was not impressed with the vendors.
The vendors.
With this year, the guests were, depending on, I guess, who you like, the guests were probably a slight step down, but the vendors were stepped up. And to me, that was a huge trade-off.
I'll tell you right now, I bought probably double what I did last year, and last year I spent $1,800.
Well, but you spanned a few more systems. You bought NES stuff. You had some
Xbox
stuff.
But I wasn't paying... Last year, I didn't pay attention to price charting. I didn't pay attention. I went in there going, I want these games. I don't care. And I overpaid. When I got home and started going through last year, oh, man, to this day, I'm still regretting last year what I spent. Oh, that's why this year, everything I bought, everything except for the Resident Evil 4 GameStop thing, I was happy with that because I got the other games cheaper, but everything I was haggling everybody. And I haggled him down on that, but still, he had the cheapest one, so I was going for it. And it was just an interesting con this year.
It was good. All in all, I had a great time. Wish I could have stayed till the end. Last year I closed it out. This year I did not. But
you'll have to put a vacation day in for it next year.
I know. It was just getting late, and man, the crowds weren't dying down. I thought, well, at lunch or some cons would get some people out of here, and it just was. There was some money flowing in that place, and people were driving from far away. It was good to see people that that were coming to this, because you'd think they go, oh well, St. Louis in August. I ain't going to that con.
Well, I talked to, like I said, I talked to Do Your Nerd. They traveled 3 hours. I talked to Captain Algebra. He was a 5-hour drive. I know Gaming Off the Grid. They're not local.
COOLTOY. I mean, he's in Springfield. That's what, 3 hours?
Yeah, that's about a 3.5 hour drive. We need to make a road trip over there in a few weekends because I've looked it up. There are some good-looking game stores over there. There's one I think you'd go in if they have stuff. Their prices are going to be low.
Well, the way Retro Tony was talking, he's got just like, it's like this mecca, that small town in Mexico, Missouri. He said you would be surprised, but the stuff that comes through this tiny town, and maybe that's part of the reason why he had such a selection. People just maybe bought these things years ago and don't know what they're worth. Out here, people are more in the know. I
know just a couple weeks ago he bought a Jungle Green N64, no box, $5. $5.
And this was at where?
So I don't know. I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Yeah, that stuff's unheard of.
He held it out and goes, "Look what I scored for $5." I'm going.
That's almost even.
I'm like, I paid $120 for my watermelon one.
There was a guy. Did you see him selling those boxed?
Yeah, like $400, $500.
He had it all on a printout, but they were crazy. And I bet you he went home with every one of those.
No.
You don't think?
There was 2 left when I went back after lunch.
Really? Wow. Yeah, there's some people eating lobster today that were selling there. If you have the right booth and the right stuff, like you made somebody's day. I know this guy that I bought these boxes from. That guy.
I made a contact here. This guy here, his name's Ben Drizzle. He's a local guy. He finds rare games like crazy. I don't know where he lives, but he's local. And he's on my Facebook Missouri Game Chasers page. And he gave me a great deal on this, but he goes, well, when you're ready to start looking for the higher ones, you tell me what you're looking for, and I'll find them and give you a deal. And I've seen the stuff that he does. When he posts carts like this, he don't just post, like, here's your game. He has it open. He lets you see the board. He has completely scrubbed, cleaned everything. The game works flawlessly.
He's got a restoration channel?
Yeah. I don't know if he has a channel, but that's how it's not a channel. When he shows it on Facebook, that's how he sells. He shows you multiple pictures of every angle. And I'll show you some of his stuff sometime. It's amazing.
Well, maybe you'll have to do a before and after and make a small video on this.
Once I get this, I'll do that. I'll do switching it out and show you everybody what it looks like.
It's actually cleaner than it was already. I've already taken a magic eraser to some of this. It was really filthy, and I can understand why it was in the free bin. But the fact that it worked was just like, God, I got a little tickle, You're like, wow, we rescued this thing from a bargain bin that was probably going to get pitched.
I've actually got a couple Super Nintendo games that could use repro labels on them, but because I know I can't read them, I just know what they are.
There's a guy on eBay that does a good job, and he's in Canada. He's got a flat fee on it. Is that where you buy yours from? $3.99 is what they usually
are.
Yeah.
And I've had to replace a few of the N64 when I got my collection. That's how I got them cheaper.
But with nothing invested, that's not a bad deal. I mean, that's an $8 game, but you put a brand new label on that and clean up that case.
No, the Mario paints, I think I bought.
Yeah.
So I put the new back on it, put a $3 label on the front. It'll look good. But all in all, like we said, it was a great con. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to leave a link to my Mo Game Con video in case you guys didn't see it. So, you see the this is the pickups. We did the MoCon yesterday. Also, want to give a shout out to Retro Tony again. I'm going to leave a link to his channel. I'm going to leave a link to Gaming Off the Grid, Captain Algebra, Do You Nerd, and
COOLTOY.
COOLTOY.
All caps, COOLTOY. Check out his channel.
When you watch the Missouri Game Con about our experience there, he talked a lot about him. I wish I could have talked to him. I wish I wouldn't have been there, but
super nice guy. I mean, I took up a lot of his time, and he was happy to do it. He wasn't like inching away, and that's what you want to see. This guy could have been a guest. Honestly, I mean, he's got a great channel. So check him out. I'm sure he's going to get even bigger and bigger.
And like I keep telling you guys, this channel here, we got things coming. I'm going to tell him something off channel that happened to me after he left that I might be able to tell you guys later, because I don't know if it's going to truly happen or not, but we'll find out. But hey, like always, give me a like, a subscribe. Sorry we rambled on for a little while, but we had a great time. I hope you guys see that in what we did. Don't forget also, we got the Facebook and Twitter that you can go follow me on. And for those of you that did stick around, don't forget about the $20 digital code giveaway I got going on till August 20th. The winner gets to pick between Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox. You can pick one system to get a $20 digital code. Thanks for watching Retro Mikey 78 with
FooFan 48.
And we'll catch you guys later.